Yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast with the weekly live episode, of course, with my man Cricket in the house. What is up, Cricket?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Excited to get another big week of football, man. We had some unexpected things happen. Ready to get into it, man. How you doing?
Good, brother. Good. You know what I'm saying? This Tuesday, the week has been over. This week wasn't kind to me from the betting front. There was a lot of games, a lot of injuries, stuff that didn't really go the way they were supposed to. But that's just life, man. What's your saying again? Mama said it would be days like this.
Mama said there would be days like this. She didn't say that hurt so bad. She said that happened, man. She didn't say that hurt so bad. So we got to talk to her too.
Absolutely. But we had some good games, man. There were some good games this week. Definitely got to go ahead and touch every single, the top storylines. At this point, there's some garbage we're not going to touch anymore. We're in week 9. It's all about the bread and butter. It's all about that. You know what I'm saying? When you buy that, when you want the filet, bro, medium rare, you want to get that juiciness, baby. That's what we're going to be all about moving on forward. But before we move on, I want to tell the listeners, give us a like on the video, subscribe, all right, and check out my sponsor, BetUS, in the link for 125% sign-on bonus. But with that being said, man, listen, let's start today with the elephant in the room, all right? The elephant in the room comes more in form of a dolphin, all right? The Miami Dolphins have not defeated an over 500 team in over 405 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I was shocked. So it's definitely over a year, 365 days in a year, 405 days. I mean, I don't know what kind of days we're counting here, but
holy shit, man.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, this year, all their 3 losses have been against over 500 team.
Yeah. All playoff caliber teams, man. All teams that are going to be sitting right there in the mix of this thing when it's all said and done. Yeah, bro. That's pretty crazy. That's something to be alarmed about. It's fun to watch this show and see all the points put up and all that stuff against the bad teams. That's fun, man. You're up taking selfies in the stands and all that, but it's kind of time to put up or shut up at this point, man. That's definitely an elephant in the room right there, because every time you play somebody that is supposed to be on the same field as you, you're walking out of there with an L, man. That's a big deal. And
what do we say every week? It's out. The hint is out. The secret is out of how to beat Miami. When you look at their wide receivers numbers right here, right? 10 targets, same amount of targets they're getting when they destroy other people. The difference is the secondary gets physical and let them get all the receptions they want, but they're going to prevent them from getting those yards after the catch. All right. They got to make it difficult. Don't get me wrong. Miami played really decent defense this week, which is, not their main forte. But however, they struggled in the offense because, again, when you're physical with Miami, that's what you do with athletic and fast teams in my book. You slow them down by getting super physical with them. And this is what has happened all 3 losses. I mean, it's been like a carbon copy of it.
Absolutely, man. The Bills kind of set this carbon copy when they beat them way back in week, was it 3, 4, 5, whatever it was,
Exactly. Week 3, I think week 4 when they were 3-0, and everybody was just already crowned them.
And then that was kind of they've had a couple other games where they've looked good, but every time they face a very physical defense, a physical secondary, and they can't seem to get behind these guys, like you said, they'll catch underneath all day long, but those 10, 12-yard chunks don't hurt near as bad as those 45, 50-yard chunks.
Oh, absolutely. And look, and it's not like, remember, Kansas City's offense is not setting any records this season, unlike last year. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Mahomes, efficient game, started out hot in the first half. That insane fumble for a touchdown was crazy. The lateral back, and then he took it. That was insane by Kansas City. But Miami made a little bit of a comeback. But again, Kansas City just doing enough to win games, whether they're pretty or not. So
yeah, I mean, that's kind of, that's been their blueprint all year long too. They haven't been the flashy Chiefs of the past. They don't have a proven number 1 wide receiver. I don't know why they didn't try to go all out and get a big time receiver at the trade deadline right there. I mean, I think there's a lot of guys they could have tried to dip into and get that would look really good in that red, but they obviously don't have to have it, man. They know who they are. They go out each week. They play their style of football. They dictate the tempo of the game. and they win the line of scrimmage. And that's what it takes in the NFL to be successful. And that's what they're doing week in and week out, man. And they're the champs till they ain't, man.
They love look, I think they trust so much in Patrick Mahomes. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? To me,
Right.
he's the GOAT right now. The GOAT has retired.
Absolutely.
Tom Brady. The torch, the baton has been passed over to Patrick Mahomes. And the kid has already, put himself in that level. That's why I think this team is like, you know what? Hey, we're gonna eventually get him a big time receiver like Tyreek Hill was here before. But however, we're just gonna go ride his coattails, man. He's gonna carry us on his back, on his shoulders until he can't no more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and I wish that I would love to see George Pickens play in this offense, man.
Gosh.
I would love to see Devontae Adams play in this offense.
I was gonna say Devontae as well.
There's a couple guys sitting there that are just like, just give me my shot, man. I bet some of these guys would almost play for free to get in this offense, man. Devontae don't need no money. He'd be like, man, I'll play for the league minimum. If you'll just let me run around with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce for a little bit, get me a ring and sell off into the sunset, man.
That'll be insane. That'll be insane.
I would
Let's go to my man Jim. You know what I'm saying,
That's
dude?
right.
Dolphins are overhyped, overrated as hell. We can form a team and beat them. He said we can form a team and beat them and take them over ourselves. That's
right, man. We get that physical DB practice, man. We'll be good to go. We have our DBs ready to hit you in the mouth, man. We get them Dolphins.
Again, they are right now considered a soft team. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And how can you not be? The proof's in the pudding, man. Every time you go into somewhere where you got to play a team that's ready to hit you in the mouth, you get hit in the mouth and you don't really respond well.
Yeah, no, and it's been proving. So guess what? There are physical defenses out there that are going to do this over and over again, week after week.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Now, you know who didn't matter how physical this team was this week, right? It didn't matter. You could have been as physical as you wanted it. But this man is him. CJ motherfucking Stroud is that dude.
Bro.
What a game. What a record-setting performance by this kid. You and I have been high on him all year long. We've been singing his praises. But when the guy comes back from the worst game he's had as a rookie and puts up this number against a really good Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense and another great performance by also Baker coming back, dude, this was the game of the week. 39-37, game-winning drive, record-setting. CJ Stroud is that dude.
And I couldn't even be mad at it, man. My Buccaneers coming up on the short end of the stick here. I couldn't even be mad at it because you're watching the poetry in motion out there, man.
Yep.
What this guy's doing is straight artistry. And he is going to be fun to watch for years to come. We hope he stays healthy and all that. But this is the quarterback of the future, man. This is the guy that is going to, we're going to remember this. This might be, we could look back at this class. There could be a lot of really good guys. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be really good. I'm not sold that Bryce Young's going to be just terrible yet. I think he's on a bad team.
Yeah,
I think he's got some good years ahead of him. I think Will Levis is that dude in Nashville now. This could be a really good quarterback class, and the guy that headlines this thing is this cat right here in CJ Stroud, man. And he goes out. He looks like he's been in the league for 3-4 years, man. He doesn't get rattled.
Yeah,
calm and collected. I love what the guy's doing, man. I do. I think it's fun to watch, and the Texans ain't no joke, bro.
Yeah, apart from all the tangible ability this guy has, the ones you can measure, right? Big arm, can throw the football, make a lot of different throws. He's your prototypical quarterback. He stays out there in the pocket and looks tall, stands up tall, and throws overhand. You know what I mean? There's nothing like he's doing here flashy. He's not side-arming anything. He's not making these insane throws like Patrick Mahomes. He's like your prototypical back in the day, Peyton Manning kind of quarterback with mobility, right?
Yeah.
But the intangibles, like you mentioned, the leadership at this age, the poise, the maturity, it's what really gets me and sets him apart from all these rookie quarterbacks of this class. And even rookie quarterbacks from previous in the last couple of years, class as well. Yeah.
He just, like I said, man, the guy looks like he's been out there for years. I love what I'm seeing out of D'Amico Ryans. I could tell early on they weren't ready to chalk this up as a lost season. You had all these young guys coming in. They sold out in this draft, gave away some draft capital in the future, but they're like, we are building for the future, but we're not giving up on this season right here, man. And they've been competitive. They're going to be right there in that race for the division right now. And guess what? They ain't going anywhere for years to come. That might be their division to lose going forward, depending on what we're going to. I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars thought they were set up for a pretty good run here, and it's shaping up like it might be some trouble from all angles, man. They all got young quarterbacks that, the jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence. It's still out
Yeah.
on that team. But this is going to be a fun division to watch from a quarterback standpoint for years to come, man.
D'Amico Ryan right now is in the hunt for coach of the year in my book.
Absolutely.
You have to give this guy the props. I know CJ Stroud is a big reason why, but however, he is creating an offense around the skill set of this stud.
Yeah.
And his time. Look at Tank Dell, man, receiving cut the game winning touchdown. I mean, the throw that CJ Stroud made to move the chains right in the last minute or so, right in the sidelines that he caught over, you couldn't place that ball any better to get the yardage and also get out of bounds right away. I mean, it's just the kid has it all, bro. The high IQ, right, as a quarterback and the ability. It's insane.
And that as calm as your quarterback is probably has a lot to do with the support they get from their head coach.
Yep.
D'Amico Ryans is still a young guy. He can relate to these younger players and things like that. Always been an exciting guy, an excitable guy that gets real hyped up on the sidelines and, very intense. And I think that allows his quarterback to just kind of go with the flow, just kind of be himself. You see him not getting really hyped up. That guy's got ice water in his veins. And, you look at somebody like Bryce Young over there with a guy, older head coach. You got older head coaches in Indy. Things like that could affect those guys. Maybe they don't relate as well with their head coach. And D'Amico Ryans, like you said, has got all his players playing for him, got them excited, and they look like they're having fun playing football, man.
He's a stone cold killer, bro.
Love him. Love him. Even be as a Crimson Tide, man. I love D'Amico Ryans and always have, man.
He's setting that narrative now to rest, at least for half a season in the first year in the league. Here we go. Let's go back to the comments here with buddy Jim. Put Stroud in the Bears offense, and they're a playoff contending team. Absolutely. Absolutely. The defense is not, I don't think it's as good as the Houston Texans. However, DJ Moore is that damn good. He's better than any receiver in that other team. Cole Kmet is that damn good. All right. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Darryl Mooney, if he gets the opportunity. Yeah. The running game.
You put that cat on a lot of teams, man. They probably become playoff contenders pretty quick, man.
Probably even that. My Giants will have offensive numbers that actually be positive. I don't think they'll be a playoff contending team, but yeah, they'll definitely have positive numbers, bro.
Score a touchdown, man.
Fuck the Giants,
man. We don't have to talk about your Giants.
No, we're not going to talk about them. I mean, no, we're not going to talk about it today. They're done. I'm done talking about them for the whole season.
I want you to know, man. My heart goes out to you every time. I don't have to watch a lot of Giants football. It's not a lot of must see TV, but every time I see the scoreboard, man, I think about you, man. I just kind of pour one out for you.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the support and sometimes you need it, man, when you're down on yourself this much.
I get it, brother.
With that being said, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone, my man, because CJ Stroud, after this performance, is our
greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Don't cross that line. Go.
You're muted, sir. You're muted.
There you go. I don't know if the video played or not. Did the video played at all?
It played. It played. Tell us about that goat, man.
Something's wrong with my goat over here, man. But with that being said,
greatest of all time. Don't cross that line.
For some reason, I am frozen on my screen. Give me 1 second there, Cricket. I don't know what's going on.
You're good, brother.
I may have to. There we go. I have to it's been on fire. I don't know what happened. I have to log on and off twice. I think I may have to get a new laptop, and this laptop is not that old. There's something going on with my.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I got StreamYard too. We can do it through that. It doesn't matter. The GOAT is CJ Stroud. That's what we know, man.
Listen, brother, my man right here set some records. All right, broke the rookie record passing. All right, record right here, 470, 5 touchdowns in a game. First rookie to ever do that. That's pretty much how impressive. Tied the rookie passing touchdown record. All right, because he threw 5 touchdowns. Game-winning drive. Did not throw an interception. He hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions. One of the greatest, probably, or the greatest single rookie performance, probably in the history of the game.
This dude is something, man. I
saw a stat where Go ahead.
I saw a stat where he's got more touchdown passes this year than Kenny Pickett's got in his career.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. I know Kenny Pickett's only had a couple years, but he's had several more games than CJ, a whole season worth, more games than CJ Stroud.
By the time he's done this year, he may have more touchdowns than Daniel Jones. So that could be another stat we got to put out there.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
You know who he also has more passing yards per game this season, right? More than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, and Jared Goff. All guys are like had top 10 performance, top 5 performance. I mean, the first 4 are top 5 in the league in all offensive category, all over the place.
Well, let's just say it. We can talk about offensive rookie of the year all we want, but when do we start the MVP chirping?
I think he should be put in the conversation. I mean,
you got to be there to be talked about, man.
Yeah.
Got to be. All those names you just named, all those guys are in the conversation for the most part. You know, any of them, and his team's playing well enough. I mean, sitting there at 4-4, nobody's really just blowing the doors off this year. There's a lot of teams sitting with those same records, man. Nobody's running away with that MVP race. This guy's got to be in the conversation.
I honestly think he's, you know what, he puts another week like this, and I think he's the MVP of the league right now. This guy throws for 3 touchdowns next week and throws for over 300 yards and no picks, and the team wins.
Tell me who's playing better.
Yeah, nobody.
Tell me who's better.
Nobody is. Lamar's not playing better. I mean, Lamar has blowout games 1 week and he's only had really like his first game of the season, which he didn't throw a pick, he didn't throw a touchdown either. Then after that, he went to that streak where he threw for like 900 yards, did not throw an interception, had a bunch of touchdowns, had that bad game against the Panthers last week, and then comes up with this. Come on, man, this guy right now, has to be in the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. You're allowed to have bad games in the NFL. It's gonna happen. Everybody out there professionals. It don't matter if it's the worst team in the league, the best team in the league. They all professionals, especially people here. You're doing well, playing well. You know, you're high on everybody's list. They're gonna prepare a little harder coming in. They want to be that team to knock you off the pedestal. So you're gonna get professionals every single week. So you're allowed to have bad games. But when you respond like this, that's what tells me you got a little something inside you, that it factor, we like to call it. That's what we like to see in professional sports. And I think CJ Stroud got it, man.
Yeah, man. When you definitely respond like this right off the bat, you know, from a subpar performance that people are not used to you having, that like you said, that tells what kind of grit that player has and what that player is made for. And that's usually what the greats have, right? You can see it in, of course, Patrick Mahomes, and we're not going to talk about the GOATs, who's retired, Manning and Brady. And all those guys. Yeah. However, these new class, they're all starting to have some competition. It's not just Patrick Mahomes anymore. We know what Joe Burrow can do. This guy right here, Josh Allen, has shown flashes of it. But this kid only through like 9 games is like, wow, I think he's here to stay.
Man, it's an exciting time to be alive in the football world because we're about to get some good football for years to come. And barring all these guys stay healthy, all that stuff, stay, on the straight and narrow, do all the things you got to do to be able to make sure you're on the football field and healthy. As long as we get all that, man, we got some great quarterbacks. We're about to see several guys that are going to wind up in the Hall of Fame. They're going to be playing in the peaks and the prime of their career. It's going to be fun to watch, man. It's exciting.
You know who also is really happy to be alive and excited? Josh, the man, Dobbs. Someone needs to make a freaking movie about this guy's career.
My man. My little astronaut, bro.
What the? Yeah. Chemical engineer. I mean,
bro is aeronautical engineer, bro. Builds rocket ships. What a monster.
Rocket ship, the way he freaking delivered that team, who's a mess through like the first half. That was amazing, man. And you cannot write a movie script better than that. What Josh Dobbs did this week in a team that he arrived on Thursday. He didn't know half of the name of the damn staff, the coaches, the damn players. I mean, he looked, horrible forcing the football. Then all of a sudden, man, you tell the instincts of this individual, his IQ takes over the game and delivers a shocking win at last minute against Atlanta. What a game.
I got to say, we misspoke earlier, man. A few weeks ago, we tried to say Gardner Minshew was the new age Fitzmagic. This is the new age Fitzmagic right here,
This guy is crazy, bro.
John, man, he just they traded middle week, not even expecting to play. No. They probably just send him a link to the playbook or something, I don't know how careful they are with all that stuff. He's just going there skimming over. I mean, like I said, he has an alien brain and he builds rocket ships. So I'm sure it's not hard for him to get all that stuff. But he just goes out there 3 or 4 days later, barely, not even sure if his jersey fit good enough or not, man. Just goes out there and does the damn things, leads these guys to victory on the road. A must win for them. That's a big time win at 4-4 right there to get you to 5-4. Now you've won 4 in a row, I think.
Yeah.
This is huge for these guys, bro. Man. The week after you are demoralized, you lose your quarterback, all that stuff, and you come in and save the day like that and give this team hope.
It's funny. He goes in, the Vikings win, makes plays. The guy was making plays. Forget about the passing numbers, 20 for 30, 158, 2 touchdowns. Most of it came in the second half. He rushed for 66 yards, which is going to be the different dynamics he's going to bring to this team with that offense, right? feel bad for Cam Akers. I think he's out for the season, right? I think he tore an ACL or something like
Is
that.
that what did that happen? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Damn it,
man. Yeah,
I
he
hate
might be
that,
out for the.
dude.
Yeah, I haven't got the details, but he's hurt. But you
God,
hate
I
that
hate
for
that,
players.
man. I thought that guy was really going to try to find him a spot, man.
I
I've been
know.
pulling for that guy. He's had a rough
Yeah.
go out there. I
Yeah.
thought he was about to find him a spot up there. I hate that.
But he made some throws, man. That touchdown to Brandon Powell, those old instincts. I mean, just to win the game. A shout out Deerfield from down here in South Florida, the city I actually work for. So shout out to Brandon Powell.
Hell
Let's
yeah,
go,
man.
Buck Pride, baby.
That's awesome. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
he's. It was funny because I told you that Deerfield Beach is a hotbed for college players, right? A lot of them make
yeah.
the NFL.
Oh man. Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
Some of the guys that work with and work for me, bro, they actually coach his kid in like football. You know what I'm saying? Some of them played high school ball with their father, so everybody was like talk. He was the talk of the office on Monday morning, man.
I
You know what I'm
bet, man. I
saying?
bet we've had a couple guys up in Knoxville from down around that area play for my balls and stuff, man. So yeah, I know that is a hotbed for
Yeah,
college
man.
football.
Deerfield, it's funny. They live in Pride football, man. A lot of those guys actually, work. In the city that I work for, and a lot of them work for my department too. So it's awesome.
Hey, sounds like my kind of people, man.
Yeah, man, they're awesome people. But yeah, Josh Dobbs, man, it just again, you got to build something. This is a storybook ending for this guy. What he's done has been amazing. I think now, look, it's not guaranteed the Vikings are going to make the playoffs, but they're a much better position with Josh Dobbs than they are with any other quarterback that's not named Kirk Cousins at this moment.
I agree, man. I don't know. This is a much better situation. They knew that they had to do something, and Josh Dobbs has not been playing terrible football. He's been on a terrible team down there in Arizona. He kind of got put his back against the wall, and he did the best he could. What he got, he was making that team a scrappy bunch. You saw what they did with Adam last week. They didn't score a point, man.
They got shut out. That's what I was going to say.
They didn't score a point, and so Josh Dobbs may have been the X factor down there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And so it's like this guy, he's never going to quit on you.
No.
He's going to have the locker room behind him. His guys are going to play for him. And he's going to give you everything he's got for all 60 minutes. I love Josh Dobbs. I love seeing this man. And like you said, I think he might get him a shot at a run here in this thing.
Listen, he won that locker room last week for the entire season.
Absolutely.
Right now, in a half of football, this dude wants. I mean, you should have seen. And shout out to the coach O'Donnell. I mean, he was out there somewhere. He came in. I was like, give him the game ball. This guy's, give him his props. I mean, he won that locker room last week in a half of football.
Those dudes know how hard that is, man.
Yep.
To come in something like that and like you come into a situation you're not comfortable with. There's no way you could be. It's human nature to not be comfortable in that situation. Everybody knows who you are in the league and stuff like that. Like, it's not like you're coming in with a bunch of people you don't know. But coming into a situation like that, not knowing the playbook, not being accustomed with everybody, not having no rapport, no chemistry, any time to build any of that, and to come into a game situation like that, lead your team from behind in enemy territory. I mean, it's fascinating to me, man. And no wonder he won that locker room. These guys, this is a better football team now because of it. They may be better now than they were with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, it's great. You're taking a big leap of faith. I'll give you a couple of game samples, though.
I'm not saying that Josh Dobbs is better than
No.
Cousins,
They're better with him.
But I'm saying you might get more out of this team with Josh Dobbs running the show. You're going to see more excitement. You're going to see these guys more amped up, ready to go. You might get more out of this team with Josh Dobbs than you would old soft walking Kirk Cousins.
Well, at least for 1 week, this is the most excited I've ever seen this team.
Right. I better watch this week. You're right. I might want to pump the brakes a little bit, but hey, they're about to get JJ back.
Yeah. JJ's way back, man. Well, man, shout out to Josh Dobbs, bro. He's amazing.
Justin Jefferson makes anybody better too, bro.
Hey, man, and let me say, and Addison is the real deal with JJ back, having that experience and that exposure. And Dobbs is gonna start hitting them. This next week you're gonna see a completely different. You're gonna see a rebound game back to that streak Addison has been in the last couple of weeks. It was just one of those that I'm glad. I mean, Jaron Hall was out there just to manage the game. It was gonna be an ugly game. You know what I'm saying, dude? If Jaron Hall was in the game.
Josh Dobbs was like he traded in the Pinto with that offense. I mean, they got some players down in Arizona. Dude, I know
they do, but not like
Brown. I like Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz on the back end of his career. James, all the different guys. I don't want to throw no shade at those guys, but that is not the same offense as what you got to work with in Minnesota up there. Dude. That is like handing the man the keys to the Porsche.
Absolutely. That's like the first, and then even going that far because none of us are that rich. But when you buy your first new car, if anybody at least always has at least one new car in their lifetime from driving an old car all the time, that's not brand new, that you never smell that new car fresh. That's what Josh Dobbs felt when he got behind that offensive line, dude.
He don't even need no air freshener. He just drive around that new car smell.
I need that new car smell right now.
That's right.
Oh man. And you know what? We're talking about new and old cards, man. Can you believe that? I did not know this, but the Commanders had their first win in New England since 1996. That's some crazy ass shit. I did not know it was that far back.
Wow. I didn't know that. I would already thrown that shade. I'll throw that shade in the morning to Will. I
Yeah,
didn't know
tell
that.
them. Yeah, it's been a long, long time. The Commanders have won in New England, winning in Foxborough.
Wow. I was in the 4th grade the
Oh my
last
gosh.
time that happened. Yeah.
That's
pretty nuts, man.
I was a senior in high school.
So man, that's been a minute. That's a big time deal. After they sold house, they got rid of the 2 best pass rushers.
Yep. Yeah, they did. Look, it was 20-17. It was going to be an ugly game. It's New England and the Commanders, and Howell again, 325, 1 touchdown. Same old. Spreading the ball around, had a good game. New England did the best they could. The same thing what they're going to do pretty much every week. Nothing new.
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. I heard this take, and they said that they feel like that Bill Belichick has done enough this year to be allowed to have another season if he wants it. Do you think he's done enough this year? I don't really know what he's done, man. They're 2-7. They're losing to bad teams. Mm-hmm. They don't really show me like they're getting any better. I don't see him just getting leaps and bounds better each week. Has he done enough? When is enough? I know he's the GOAT. I know all that. He deserves to leave on his terms. But is it not maybe time to say, hey, Bill, we want you to leave on your terms, but then terms need to come a little quicker than you might be wanting them to come, because we don't want this to have to be nasty, but you're not doing nothing for us anymore, man.
Yeah, at this point, from an owner and speaking from experience as a manager and, multiple levels, and you've always had that guy that, man, he's given everything for the company.
Yeah.
But at that point, he's putting liability on your operation, because it's time to go. Yeah. You don't want to fire the guy. You want to give him the respect of like, dude, this is what's happening, right? This is your metrics. This is going on. This is going to happen. You got to get fired. So I'm giving you the opportunity to walk with your head held high, grab your pension, grab all your shit that you've earned through 25 years of service, and don't lose it for getting terminated for something that you can't do as good anymore. Right. That's kind of what Bill Belichick is right now, is that employee that is trying to buy his time, but it's not helping the operation, and he's not helping them at all.
And, like, we can't put a statue. We can't put a statue out there if we fire you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. If we fire you, it's gonna look bad.
It's like, we don't want to do that, but at the same time, like you said, after a while, you're kind of hurting the machine, man. Mm-hmm. Before, you've always been a valuable part of that, a valuable asset, and helped us be better. But now you're kind of dragging us down at this point. And it's not just him. There's a lot of holes in this thing. I think they're gonna have to rebuild this thing from the bottom. I don't think people realize how bad it's kind of hard to see the New England Patriots be this bad, but this is a really bad football team, and they don't look good at any level. They got a lot of guys they got to develop, a lot of young guys, but I think they're gonna have to, trade some guys, trade some bets away, get what you can get from Magnet, but you got to build this thing through the draft, and you can't do it the way Bill Belichick does it.
When you have the worst record in your division, or in the AFC, I think they have the worst record in the AFC.
Yeah,
at 2-7, that you haven't done enough to be welcome back one more year. All right. So if it's not Bill Belichick, because right now in New York, there's like chance of like fire Brian Daboll, when honestly, dude, he needs another shot with this mess that they created this year.
Yeah, so it's not fair to him. I hope they don't run him off, man. Yeah, Daboll's a good football coach, and he'll land somewhere good, but I hope they don't run him off. That's completely different than what's going on in New England.
Bill Belichick right now, man, I mean, look, it's been, you just got to take you got to qualify. You got to quantify the years after Brady. What have you done for me? And I think they've given him enough opportunity already. And this year is finally your stamp of like, as an owner and somebody that needs to revitalize this team, because like you said, it's you need to gut this whole operation. They need to gut this team. It's not a retool. It's not a rebuild. It's a gutting situation. It's worse. You could rebuild something, but when you gut it from the ground, you're like practically reconstructing the whole thing. And that's what needs to happen with this team. It needs to get it with the times, and Bill is not with the times. And unfortunately, his hands, his fingerprints are all over it. And the only way you kind of wipe those fingerprints out is if you take the suspect and get him the fuck out the way and throw him in jail. All right. That's
the thing. Like Brian Daboll, you talk about Brian Daboll, and he hadn't had 2 decades to build this thing, man. It's not like it's his machine. This is all Bill Belichick stuff. This is everything you wanted. They've drafted the way you wanted. You built all this thing the way you wanted. They took the guy you wanted at quarterback. All these different things. it ain't working, man. The game is I hate to say it, but it's kind of
How's it
passed
work?
you by.
It has.
You
It
know,
has. I
we
said
don't
this the
have
other day.
the. Go ahead.
The game has evolved, but Bill Belichick has not evolved with it.
You think about it, we used to always, when Bill had time to prepare for a young quarterback and all this stuff,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was a lock. He was going to be able to go in there and shut the offenses are different now, man.
Mhm.
It's a different world out there with the RPO stuff and the advancement, all the different looks you get, the sets and all this stuff. It's a different world out there now. And especially when I know he's had a lot of injuries. His two best defensive players are down. We'll give him that. But I don't know that those two guys are going to make up for a 2-7 record. What do you maybe get one more win out of that? Maybe you're sitting at 3-6.
Maybe you're sitting at 3-6 because you had a play go your way or a pick six go this way or something like that. I get it, but still, though, man, that offense is horrible. I mean, it's
you've lost
horrible.
to some bad teams.
I mean, it's he's burning down Ramondre Stevenson, who's a freaking animal and could be doing crazy. He could be doing
man.
Brees Hall kind of shit in a better team, right?
And I hate seeing guys like that get wasted on bad teams, man.
So, hey, man,
there's only so many miles on those legs.
That's true. That's true, and especially those running backs. So, shout out to the Commanders, man. I mean, what they're 4-5. They cleaned house last week, and they went ahead and kind of like actually won in New England, which I get. It's a nice accomplishment. They haven't won there in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
However,
clearly,
New England is a pretty crappy team.
But clearly, it don't even matter how bad they've had some bad teams squeezed in between there since '96. So I mean, It's been a minute. That's a big deal for them. Good for them, and that's a scrappy bunch, dude. Talk about them sitting there at 4-5. They played 2 close games against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They took them to overtime and won. So this is a scrappy bunch right here. That NFC East pretty well outside your boys.
Outside the Giants.
The other 3 are
everybody else. Everybody else is like they're keeping their head up high, man. We on the other hand we're done. We're so done.
You've had some tough luck, man. You've had some tough luck, bro.
I want this season to be over like now, dude. I mean, you know what? And honestly, I don't want to win any more games. I want to keep tanking. I want to keep tanking. And I want the Panthers to like start winning at least 2 more games. You know what I mean? That's what I want right now. I want to just like freaking flush everything down the season, bro.
What do you do if you get it, man? Y'all just paid Daniel Jones all that money. What do y'all do if you get it? Do you take one of them? You got to. Daniel Jones is not the damn answer, bro.
You have to, man.
Sorry, I hate that the guy got hurt. I do. Never want to see that with anybody, but he wasn't having a great year. Not all his fault. Man, it's kind of hard to throw from the flat of your back. It's tough to do. But I don't think he's the answer, bro.
No. And look, you technically can get rid of Jones after 2 years of that contract. All right. That's where most of the guaranteed money is. So, I mean, if Caleb Williams is that guy and you have an opportunity to trade down at 2 and whatever the ending of the record is, and you got those assets, I mean, I don't care if that kid spends a year in the bench. You know what I mean, dude?
Bro, there ain't nothing. I'll tell you right now, I think Drake May is going to be a better NFL quarterback than Caleb Williams. I think he's got more. I think he's got more of that in here that we talked about. Caleb Williams, I don't know. I don't want to throw shade at the guy, but I'm not seeing the things out of that guy that I want to see out of, like, the other night they asked him about the game and what it means, and he's like, I just want to go home and cuddle with my dog. And that's not what I want to hear from that guy, man. I want to know. I'm sorry. I'm different, man.
A little bit of a Kyler Murray answer there, you know what I'm saying, bro?
I don't want that. I don't want that I want that guy that's mad, pissed off, goes back to in the gym. He's like throwing weights up, man, throwing balls at tires or whatever he's got to do to get out there to get. That's what I want to see, man. And I don't know these guys' lives. I don't live their lives. I don't know what all they got to deal with, man. So I'm not going to throw too much shade at him. I'm just saying right now, if I'm sitting here as one of these GMs and I got a choice between Drake May and Caleb Williams, I'm gonna take Drake May. That's just me.
Okay. No, look, I am gonna go by what you say because you are the college guy, much than I do. It's funny, I watch some college football, I'll scout now when I get ready for like the NFL draft and stuff like that. Because like I said, I didn't grow up with college football, man. In Brooklyn, we don't watch college football.
No, that's what I'm saying, man.
But that's when they get to the NFL is a different thing. It's like, I watch what in college, I got the accolades, and then after that I run with it, right? So it's worked for me. I pick guys like CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I remember I've had some duds as well. You know what I'm saying? I've called Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kind of stuff without even watching a lot of their action. And that, but because college is one of those things, dude. You could watch footage and it could tell you exactly where the guy, not exactly, but whether this guy, he's not going to make it. And especially the big colleges, they have such a great setup around them I mean, you have like a bunch of NFL players already surrounding the
all it is
quarterback.
it's a minor league system, man.
It is.
That's all it is nowadays with the NIL and all that stuff. There's gonna be people sitting there watching probably right now. They're gonna say, well, Drake May lost to Georgia Tech and Virginia. Drake May is not on the caliber of team that Caleb Williams is on right now. If you look at Drake May's numbers in those games, he's playing really well, man. He's good. He's going to make some mistakes. They all do. They all do in that spot. I'm just saying what I've seen out of that guy is a pure passer. He's got the ability to get out of the pocket, what you need in today's game. Caleb Williams plays a lot like Patrick Mahomes. They're probably both going to be really good NFL quarterbacks. I'm just saying, if it's me right now, nobody pays me any money to do that. I don't get to make any picks in the NFL draft. But if I did, I would take Drake May over Caleb Williams.
No, absolutely. I'll definitely. I'm with you on that one. And here we go. The Saints, got squeaked by a win. A nice little comeback win. They're back to 500. So they're in the mix. That's a really bad division. So, I mean, what can you say about the Bears? Same old Bears. Bajan is a story. He actually started off like a house on fire, connected with 2 touchdowns with Cole Kmet. I'm a big Cole Kmet fan, bro. I'm glad he's actually getting some love, man. You know what I mean? Because he does have great hands and he runs some great routes, man. Which I'm so pissed off why Justin Fields haven't had that year that everybody thought he was going to have. But of course, you could see the quality of the quarterback, man. 3 interceptions, a lot. Some of them were like, "What the hell are you doing, bro? Who are you throwing to?" It's nice to see Bajan run the football.
Really young guy, man.
He's a small guy, man. I mean, it's for what it's worth, man. The Saints, they're 5-4 in the mix, of course, in that division. So look, Kamara is right now. He's doing everything from a couple of different angles. Didn't have a great game like last week, but still has positive yardage, 4 receptions. He's so involved in the passing game, which I like to see a lot from a fantasy standpoint. Nothing too crazy about this game. I just brought this up because the Saints it was one of the ones I forgot to take off my damn script. So
right. They the Saints are another one that's kind of a scrappy bunch. I don't think they got the stay power though, man. That red zone offense has been too hit or miss. They just don't have anybody that's stepping in that spot. I don't have a lot of faith in Derek Carr in these spots. He's never shown me anything in the past that tells me he's going to be able to lead that drive at the end of the game when he has to. They got a great defense, but that defense tends to spend too much time on the field sometimes. And when you get down to the stretch in the big games with the big teams, you're going to wind up having that defense tired out, and naturally they're going to wind up dropping the ball at some point. And
honestly, Derek Carr should have, they fucked up there too. The Raiders did. They should have kept Derek Carr. You know what I mean? Because he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's just Josh McDaniel.
I didn't watch any of your game on Sunday. Was that Aiden O'Connell doing all that to your Giants out there?
No, yeah. So I could go back there. I could go back there and get a couple of touchdowns myself. The Giants right now.
But either way, I mean, I'm telling you, they clearly looked a lot better with Aiden O'Connell than they did Jimmy G. Yeah. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll touch it. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Yeah. But we're not going to touch that game today. But we'll see next week against the Jets. Right now, the Raiders are one of those. Rest of the 3 and 4 teams or whatever the case may be.
And Derek Carr, I don't know that Derek Carr's doing any more with that Raiders. He'd be throwing to Devontae more. Maybe they did on Sunday. I didn't watch a play of that game, man.
No, Devontae didn't get a lot of throws either. He's still. I guess they're still trying to figure him out. I don't get it. I mean, shout out to Antonio Pierce, bro. Former Giant.
Throw the motherfucker the ball. He's always open. Here's what you got to figure out about Devontae. He's always fucking open, just like Jamar Chase. Yeah. Just throw him the ball, man.
Exactly. I don't know what they're doing over here. But who was throwing the ball, but completely to the opposite team here this week? Our buddy Geno Smith threw a fucking goose egg.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna toot my horn on this. I called this one. Everybody was all on them Seahawks.
You know what?
I'm y'all, that
we mentioned it. We mentioned it in Heavy Steps mentioned it in Wake and Rake, and I said, nah, man, this game cannot be a blowout. Fucking it was.
I said, man, this is your pleaser spot. I said, take the Ravens -12. I said 2 touchdowns. I did. I'm going to toot my horn on this one because it just felt like that spot. It was going to be a bad day for the Seahawks. Man. The Ravens are good, man. The Ravens are number 1 in my power rankings this week, man. I went ahead and made up with you. I wanted to. I know you've been making yours, man. I made my own.
I didn't make mine today, man. It's been. I have a lot of going on things at work, man, and usually I get a break to do some stuff. But I haven't been able to, man. It's a short week for me because of a holiday on Friday. I took a day off last week, so it was another short week. I'm working between my regular day-to-day. I got a big project that it's gonna lead off at the beginning of the year, so I got to get it going. It's a bunch of other shit.
I understand, man.
But I did my power rankings. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna give us your power rankings, man, at the end of the show. So it's gonna be the quick picks, bro. Quick picks power ranking of the NFL. Give us your top 10.
That's right.
But here. This team, I would have placed them right on top. Geno Smith, I don't know what the hell is going on with Geno. He's killing me in fantasy because I have him in one of my big leagues, which I'm so eliminated already. I'm 2-7 on two of my biggest league. I'm done. It was just unexcusable. Yes, look, it's not like Lamar was having a great game because he was struggling. I mean, he was running the football. Look at Keaton Mitchell, man. He had an unbelievable game. Gus Edwards has what, 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
Yeah, bro.
It was the running attack. It was insane. They ran all over the freaking place. Edwards over 555, over 55 yards. Jackson over 45, freaking 19 yards for Hill. They were just on fire, bro. On freaking fire all day. Just destroying the Seahawks, man. They couldn't stop the run all day. It was just crazy.
This Ravens team continues to impress me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Week in and week out, I keep waiting for them to have a letdown. They already did that, I guess. I guess the Colts are, they got to remember they let the Colts come back in that game, lose that one in overtime right there. This team could be sitting there 8-1 right now. They look good, and Lamar's playing good football.
Yeah. Even that prima donna over there of OBJ caught a touchdown. So, hey, he's
on his birthday, man.
Yeah, he earned this freaking paycheck.
Hey, that's good, man. That's good. I like seeing that dude getting there. I like OBJ, man. I know he's a prima donna and all that stuff, but that guy's must see TV most of the time.
Can't stand that guy, man. Can't fucking stand him.
I can't stand that guy. I know. I hate it when I throw it out there. I forget all these guys play for your squad, man. I bet you do hate. Like Evan Ingram, that's another one.
Such a bad year, man. Such a bad year. And with that being said, man, I'm going to keep being bad. The fucking Seahawks offense and Geno Smith are my losers of the week, all right? I'm going to explain why I picked them after, of course, I throw my...
Loser. Le who? The her.
So I could have picked my Giants again, but dude, who the hell wants to keep me putting the Giants up there week after week? I can't. Just based on that scenario, I can't put the Giants there. The Giants probably had a worse day.
I wonder if they would be there again. I wonder if they would be there. I was like, he's got to be tired of doing that, man.
Couldn't do the Arizona Cardinals because really they didn't have their dude, right? The dude that led the Vikings to a freaking winning drive, just like 3 days off the plane, dude. Fresh off the boat, my man got off and freaking slated. So you know what? I'm going to give the Arizona Cardinals a pass for getting shut out against the Browns. But here, I mean, to me, the Seahawks are Fugazi, bro. All right? This shows you right now. And Geno, look, I think everybody saw what Geno did last year, and they were like, listen, we got to prepare for him a little better because this is just bad. It was just bad. I mean, look, let's go hit the numbers. I mean, 13 for 28, 157, had an interception, lost a fumble. Had a lost fumble, also recovered another one. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was just really, really bad. And then look at this offense, right? I mean, they were like dominated on every category, offensive category in the game. First down, look at it, like 29-6. I mean, third down efficiency. It was just insane. Fourth down efficiency, rushing yards, 280, passing yards, 217. It was just a complete, look at the 615. Is that what it says there? And 151 yards total offense. The offense was horrible, whether they were running or throwing the football. Geno could not fucking make a play. All right. He couldn't he couldn't protect the football anywhere. I mean, he was throwing to the other team or he was coughing it up. So yeah, they are my losers of the week because they put up a really, really stinky performance this week.
Man. That's about all you can say about it. You said everything that needed to be said right there. I think they are a little fugazi, as you like to say, man. They posers a bit. I haven't been following this team. Everybody was high on them last week. Everybody's talking about they're leading that division, whatever. The 49ers are the class of that division. I know they've lost 3 in a row. I know they've had some problems. They got the bye. They're going to be more healthy. It's going to be the 49ers are better than the Seahawks. I promise you that. And beyond that, I just don't see this team getting it right. They're too streaky in spots. They don't have the red zone. Another one of those teams that struggles with the red zone offense. If they can get there, they can't sustain drives. They got a good defense, but that defense, much like the Saints, is going to wind up tired out because your offense can't sustain drives and keeps you on the field 70% of the game. And it's hard for any of them dudes. I don't care how many guys you can rotate in there. The guys going to get tired, man. And this Seahawks offense is just abysmal in spots. And Geno, I'm sorry, Geno, you just ain't looking as good as you did last year, man.
Hey, man, he got paid. It's good. He got paid. So
I'm glad he got paid. He earned that money. Geno, I'm not throwing shade at Geno. Geno earned that money, and I'm glad they gave it to him. He deserved that money. Has been there, but it's a tough road now, man. And now you got to do
money for last year
because you're gonna have the haters, man. You're gonna have the haters. Just weather the storm, bro. But I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, this is definitely money from last year that Geno got right now. So they're making him whole. They're making them whole right now for that great season last year that they had. So,
As they should. As
yeah,
they
yeah.
should.
Hey, look, I'm not hating on that at all. I'm not
Yep.
hating on that at all.
I'm happy for him, man. I don't think the offense is that good. It ain't all his fault.
Nope.
Offensive
No.
line has struggled a little bit too, but some of it is his fault. He's throwing some ugly balls in
Yes.
spots and doesn't look near as polished as he did last year. So some of it is his fault. Let's be clear. But it's not all his fault.
I agree with you. He's not looking as sharp. Ball is not coming off as nice as it did. He's throwing some real ducks out there and making some bad decisions. I mean, it's not rocket science. You're the quarterback, man. You got to make the smartest decisions of any player on that field. So he's not helping himself either.
I agree, sir.
Who's the backup? Who's the backup quarterback? Do you know? I have no clue.
Is it Drew Lock?
Oh yeah, it's Drew Lock. You're right. You're right.
With in the trade, the Russell Wilson trade.
Yeah, not yet. Not another great option either. So because he's got to go out there and do the same, probably worse.
You paid Geno now, man. You paid Geno. He's your guy. Yep. He is your guy. Yeah. He's earned that. He earns the right. As long as he's healthy, he's earned the right to be your guy. You're going to ride this because he gives you the best chance to win. Point blank.
At least for this season, yeah, he's going to be your guy.
Yeah, unless Geno Smith and Drew Lock, he gives you the best chance to win right now, and you paid him to do that. Let the man do his job. You're going to have good weeks, you're going to have bad weeks, but he gives you a chance to make the playoffs, and you're right there where you wanted to be after 8 weeks of the season.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And let me tell you something. The next team here, I might throw up a little bit in my mouth by giving them some credit. But the Dallas Cowboys have actually played really good the last 2 weeks.
Man. Good football
team. Prescott, Whack Prescott over here is not whack for the last couple of weeks. He's actually played the best football of the season, and that's kind of like the MVP shade of Dak. Just put that out there as a Giants fan. This really kills me. And anybody that's not a Giants that knows me from Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, I fucking bash the Cowboys all the time. They're probably watching and saying, "Yeah, here we go, we got them." But listen, man, about a really good game, and nothing to me in my book that Dak Prescott did. Because everybody likes to blame Dak, me, yours truly, especially for a lot of these tough losses. He did everything he needed to do, man, to kind of put his team in position. I know that last drive, everybody's bashing it, but dude, the Eagles are a really good defense, man. There was some calls there that got them where they needed to be, but this Eagles team are 8-1, and they still haven't looked as good as it did last year. All right, Dak did everything he could. You can't have better numbers than what he had: 374 yards, 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, man, has been playing like a man possessed the last couple of weeks, right? 191 receiving yards, 11 receptions, could not find the end zone. But look, this is the guys that drive their offense here. Jalen Tolbert has actually found the end zone a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. Ferguson found they're playing, their offense is clicking, man. It's just you know what I mean? They still have a little problems in the red zone. And when you face a good team like the Eagles, it's tough.
I like this Cowboys team, man. I'm telling you, this Cowboys team, they're probably still going to wind up doing Cowboys things like they do, much like they did in this game. But Jake Ferguson, I'm a big fan of. Shout out to my guy Jordan over at TSS Fantasy. Loves Jake Ferguson. Been preaching Jake Ferguson for a while now. Fergie is the man, bro. That dude can play. I like watching this guy, what he does in this offense, gives Dak another weapon, takes some of that pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. This is a good football team. The Eagles may very well be your Super Bowl champ when it's all said and done. I'll go ahead and we all know that. We all know that's as good a possibility as any right now. This team played with them. They just didn't have the stay power at the end, man. Yep. But this is much improved from what we saw against San Francisco 49ers just a few weeks ago, man.
Absolutely.
And they've came a long way since that game. And I think that was a turning point in their season. It kind of made Dak put his back against the wall and say, I get it. I'm big. I'm man enough. I can handle the hate. Throw it at me, man. You're paying me the money. I'm going to go out here and I'll take it. And he's played much better, man. The whole team's played much better. They're kind of starting to find their own on defense. It took a little time to adjust to Trayvon Diggs going. Anytime you lose a player of that caliber, man, it's going to take some adjustment period. But they've looked much better since that debacle at San Francisco. Don't count these Cowboys out just yet. I know that hurts a lot of y'all's feelings, but don't count them out just yet, man. They might make some noise in this thing.
I mean, and I know numbers don't tell you the whole game. So at the end of the day, it's all about performance, right? And time he plays. But man, when you look at these stats, I mean, total yards 406 to 292. Dallas led them. Passing yards 333 to 183 for Dallas over the Eagles. I mean, you look at all these categories. Time of possessions, they were pretty even. Third down efficiency was kind of pretty even. Sacks allowed, Dallas allowed 5 because their offense line is not great. So it was really even. I mean, that everything was pretty there. Dallas let them some of them. Rushing yards was the only variance that I think offensively where where the Eagles actually were better than Dallas. So it's just one of those things. They'd be like, man, it's a shame that they lost. I mean, care less. They're two division rivals, but it's a shame that they lost. But actually, it's one of those things that I cannot say, hey, there you go, bro. Dak Prescott overpaid, one of the overhyped. I cannot say that about this game. He actually came through. He hasn't been great all year long until like the last couple of weeks where he's been money on the spot, Johnny on the spot, man. And he's been really, really slinging the football, making good decisions. And then this is another good game, which unfortunately did not go the Dallas Cowboys way. But shout out to the Eagles. They're they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, bro.
They'll get another shot at this thing, right?
Yeah.
This is only the first time they played.
Yes.
They'll play again, in Dallas. So you'll get your shot again. And like I said, we talk about these guys sitting around listening to all the chatter and the chirping, the social medias and all that stuff. Dak's another guy. He hears that stuff, man. And he caught a lot of he been catch play. This guy is one of the most hated dudes in the world. Let's be honest. And a lot of people throw some shade at Dak. Some of it warranted, some of it not. And Dak has kind of risen to the occasion right here. And I like seeing it, man. I like seeing this guy. I like this guy. I've liked this guy since he was at Mississippi State. And I think he does have a lot of haters, always has. And he usually, more times than not, he's been through a lot of shit, man. And I like seeing him rise to the occasion right here, kind of dust himself off. And he's going down swinging at least.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you like him. I don't like him. Fuck that. I think Romo.
I understand. A lot of people know, man. I like him going back to his days at Mississippi State.
I think Romo was a better quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because he had less than he did. Anyway, one thing I wanted to mention. You mentioned Ferguson.
I've liked him since his days at Mississippi State, man. I've watched the guy.
He's a warrior. He's a warrior, dude.
And I feel like he gets a lot of hate, man. Like I said, some warranted, some not.
He's a warrior.
It's good to see him fight, man.
Yeah, he got an opportunity when somebody got hurt and stepped out to the plate, and you know what? Never gave that spot back until somebody comes and takes it. So you got to respect that. You definitely got to respect that.
For sure.
He at
least goes down swinging.
Yep, absolutely. You know what Dallas also does well, right? It really generates some good tight ends. Fergie is coming up strong.
Yeah.
Bro, Dalton Schultz, what I didn't mention, is having one hell of a effing season. All right. He is having one hell of a season, bro.
Part of the CJ Stroud experiment.
Exactly, brother. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but he's doing something to get the attention from CJ Stroud. So, yeah, man. I mean, hey, Dallas, Dallas needs to get the nickname of tight end U because, I mean, everybody, he's out of there. He's doing it, and it goes back to the Jason Witten days, man, back in the day.
That's my guy, man. One of the greatest balls to ever live, bro.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, there we go. Jason Witten. I mean, hey, Dallas is tight end U, baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You may not be wrong, man. You may not be wrong. I like where your head's at there.
Oh, man. You know who's also back, though, bro? And we touched on it last week, and I think after Monday night, bro, Joey Buckets.
Or Sunday night.
Buckets.
Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday night. I'm sorry, Sunday. That was the Monday night game. We're not going to touch a Monday night game. That was so horrible.
We don't even talk about that.
We're not going to touch that. Oh, bro, Joey Buckets, bro.
Is that Aaron Rodgers
Joey Buckets, bro. I like it. He's back to being money.
Bro.
He's healthy, bro. That's the bottom line. I don't think you got to be a rocket scientist or what is it, aeronautical engineer? What is it? Yeah, what is
aeronautical engineer?
Aeronautical engineer. All right, to know that dude was not right when they were losing. All right, from a health standpoint.
Yeah, man. This team is an anomaly. They fast. I say it week in and week out. I don't know how it is, what it is with them, man. They just don't show up ready to play till about October, man. September is just like a wash. They treat it like the preseason or something, man.
Oh, for real, man.
But they just coast through that thing, and the next thing you know, this is one of the best teams in football. I love seeing it too, man, because I like Joey Buckets.
Me too.
They're fun to watch. When this team's clicking, they are a lot of fun to watch, man. How did T. Higgins do? Look at him. He's back.
Yep.
Feeling good about himself. Was that 8 receptions, 110 yards? 9 targets, man. They're doing all this. Jamar Chase is just hanging out down there.
Oh, it's about time, bro. He's been on a tear, so you know that game is going to go.
That's when you can do that, and you can beat who I also think is one of they have their spotty weeks too. But I think the Bills, through and through, are one of the best teams in football. Have dealt with some injury problems and trying to fix some of that with the trade deadline. They made some moves there. So I think this is a great football team. They did this too, man. And if you could do that with your best player, because Jamar Chase probably is the most physically gifted, talented guy on any field he's on most of the time. When he's just down there 4 catches, 41 yards hanging out, and you do this to another great team in the NFL, man, the Bengals are back, bro.
Jamar's a specimen, dude. He's definitely a specimen. And yeah, look, Josh Allen, again, the inconsistency this year with the turnovers needs to stop. But again, that's another dude that just plays hard, man. He's going to barrel. Look at him, 44 yards and a touchdown. He's going to do whatever he needs to do. But that team, just compared to the Bengals, when you look at what they have on offense, Stephon Diggs, hey, Dalton Kincaid has been getting a lot of targets, but not it. They don't have anything else, man. Gabe Davis is supposed to be that other guy. I mean, he's not 7-11, bro. All right. He's more like, 110 or something like that. I don't even know what to say. He's open one day a week.
That fucking guy blows my mind, dude.
I know.
He's on my no bet list.
Yep.
I don't draft him. I don't pick him up on the waiver. I don't play him in daily fantasy. I don't bet his player props because it doesn't matter what I do with that guy. He's going to do the opposite. I take him over, he's going under. Take him under, he's going over. It doesn't matter, man. If I put him in my lineup, he's laying a goose egg. Leave him on the bench, he scores 40. I can't figure that dude out, bro. I can't.
That's exactly right. And you're right about that. I think I try to use him because his reception number is so low on prop betting. They'd be like, dude, this guy can get 4. He could get 3 receptions. It's like 2.5, 32 yards. I'm like, this guy. I mean, because that's what he does. I mean, dude, this guy can get 3 receptions and 40 yards. He's that talented. But gosh, I don't know what it is.
And then those days when you see it and you think it's a lock to go over, he'll be like this. He won't catch a pass. But then they'll set it at 4.5 or 5.5 and you're like,
Monday night.
Sure he's going under.
Sunday night.
For sure he's going under, and you do that, and then he winds up having 8 catches or something like that. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't mess with this guy at all. I think he's a great player. He's a talented guy. He's not a very good route runner. No. He just kind of just turns it loose. He's like a big thoroughbred horse that just gets going downfield. But he's not a polished route runner. But I can't touch this guy, man. I can't. I got nothing for him, bro.
You're completely right, man. You're completely right. That's exactly where we're at. Oh man, yeah. But I think Joey Money is back. This. Let me tell you something, dude. That it's gonna get crazy, all right. In that AFC North right now, because the Ravens are playing unbelievably well. All right. You see the Bengals are back. All right. You cannot say they're not back just based on the last like 3 or 4 games. You've seen 2 games from back-to-back insane games by Joe Burrows, looking healthy, being able to move in the pocket, do the things that he was doing before. I mean, even Pittsburgh got 5-3. I don't care how ugly those games have looked. Come on, the Browns, as ugly as they look, that division is a freaking dogfight, dude. All right, it's crazy.
Browns are good, dude.
You're gonna get a division winner, at least 2 wild card out of here from the AFC. Don't be surprised if all 3 wild cards come from here. All right, because the AFC East is forget about that. You know what I'm saying? It's looking pretty gnarly. That there's going to be this division here is the one that's going to cannibalize each other because they're so freaking tough.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I love watching those AFC North games, man. We talk about it every week. I feel like it's like a time machine, man. You go back to old 1970s. You got Zonka and all of them out there, man. Something crazy. I know Zonka didn't play in the AFC North. That's what it feels like. It feels like that hard smash mouth football, bro. Them old school Steelers days and stuff. I love that shit, man. And every time you watch one of those games, it doesn't matter that Lamar Jackson's playing in it or Kenny Pickett or none of that stuff. It's still going to be a hard-nosed, hard-hitting football game, man. I love watching that stuff.
It is wild, man. It is wild. All right, Cricket. Well, listen, we've hit every top storyline in the biz this week, man. We did the loser of the week, of course. We did with our goat of the week. But again, I didn't have time to work on my power rankings. But go ahead, give us your top 10 power ranking, just the top 10.
And this is what I've seen right now, man. Of the teams I'm watching right now, I got the Ravens at number 1. Okay. I love what these guys are doing. I think they've looked good week in and week out. I've even bet against them a time or two, just thinking that they might be turning it up. But I didn't last week, man. I piled on them. I was going to go against them with Arizona, wound up not doing it. They got me bit late in a bad beat with that one. But the Ravens look good, man. They look as good as anybody right now, offensively, defensively. And I like them at number 1. 2, Eagles. The Eagles are playing, I still feel maybe B- football at this point, and still sitting there at 7-1. They got a much needed bye week coming up. They're going to get healthy. They need that bye week back because they got a tough stretch coming. They're going to play the 49ers and all that stuff, but Eagles look good, man. I got them sitting at number 2. Number 3, I got the Chiefs, man. Defending champs. Right here, they go over to Germany, get the big win, kind of methodically smack the Dolphins in the mouth. They slid real big in my power rings this week because, like you said, I don't think they can match up with some of the better teams in the league right now. They're just not there yet. At number 4, I got those Bengals. I think the Bengals are back, and they could easily be up there. I think you could take any one of these top 4 and put them right there right now with the caliber of football they're playing. They just show me they can go in with anybody, play anybody in the league, and stack up against them if they're healthy. 5th, I got the Browns. I like the Browns, man. I like what I've seen. Even with the debacle that they've had at quarterback, man, that defense is another level, and it's going to keep them in any game that they're in as long as they don't the quarterbacks don't just lose it for them. turnovers in bad spots, put their backs against the wall. The Browns are going to be in the football games. That defense is on another level, man. I love what I'm seeing out of that. My boy Buku's going to appreciate that. He's a big Browns fan. 6, I got the 49ers. I know they've lost 3 in a row, but I think they're going to come back healthy off this bye week, look much better. You'll see Brock Purdy kind of get it back together. This guy's still a good quarterback. He's still not a bum, man. He can play. And it's not time to just sell the farm just yet. And they got Chase Young now. Ooh-wee. Boy, that defense is going to be nasty. Nastier than it was, man.
That's gonna be crazy watching that defense.
It's hard to beat anybody when your quarterback stays on the flat of his back, man. Yeah. And that might be what happens with that team a lot. 7, I got the Jaguars. Playing as good a football as anybody. I thought I was going to see them kind of take a step back when they went up to Pittsburgh. Look good. They're coming off a bye week 2. Should be healthy now. It's played as good as anybody the last 6 weeks since they took their trip to London, did their thing over there, man. That's where they got to move the franchise. That's where that team has an advantage.
Yeah, they should. They're moving
them cast to London, man. They'll win the Super Bowl. I promise you.
Yep.
But yeah, I got them at number 7 right there. I got 8, the Lions. I think a lot of people forgot how good the Lions are. They've been on the bye week 2, but the Lions are a good football team. We didn't get to see much out of that last game against the Raiders because it's the Raiders are the Raiders, man. When the coaching staff got fired and all that. But the Lions are good. They got their much-needed bye week 2. They'll be more healthy coming back. They're still up there in the race for me. Cowboys did some things to impress me in that game against the Eagles. I got them at number 9 right there. I think they're still going to be a team that's going to make some noise down the backstretch of this thing. I think they can beat anybody. They can match up with anybody. It's going to matter how Dak plays. Dak seems to be a motivated guy right now. I think he's going out each week with a chip on his shoulder, and that's kind of good for them, man. He's looking for open receivers, finding some other guys, getting more guys involved in the offense. They've looked better to me, even though they lost that game on Sunday. I think they're trending in the right direction. And at number 10, I got the Bills. I don't even have the Dolphins in my top 10. They're right there at 11.
Wow. They dropped off. They dropped off.
I'm just saying they're right there at 11, but you haven't shown me anything against. I mean, I can't put you in front of the Bills. You've played head-to-head. I know you're going to play again, but you've already played once, and they beat you by 4 touchdowns, man. So it's like I can't really, in good conscience, put them ahead of any of those teams because all 10 of those teams right there, I feel like are more physical than the Dolphins.
It makes sense. It makes sense because even the Bills they've beat some good teams as well. I mean,
yeah. And I'm just saying right there. I mean, I was sitting there wrestling with the Bills and the Dolphins, who I'm going to put at 10 right there. And I'm like, well, I've seen you play on the field. I've seen it. And I watched this team beat you by 4 touchdowns. I don't care. It was in their house. They beat you by, it wasn't by a little bit. It wasn't a last second field goal. They beat you bad.
They did. They did.
And kind of showed everybody else how to beat you.
I mean, that's a solid top 10 to me, my brother. Definitely solid top 10.
I appreciate it, man. We got a lot of football left, man. My man. I always enjoy doing this with you, man. I like hearing your take and see how you felt about things. I like hearing how you felt about your Giants because I've been there, man. I've been a Buccaneers. I've had some rough years too, man. And my rough year, man, I told people though, man, I was kind of prepared for this. I told people we started out like, guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
We look good out there, 3-1, 3-0, whatever. We're looking good, feeling good about it. Everybody else was feeling good. I'm a realist, man. I've seen this movie before. I like Baker. I like what Baker's doing. Yeah. I still hope we're not out of the race for one of those top 2 quarterbacks, though. I really do.
What's crazy is that, after struggling, after the post-Eli Manning era and after we won our last Super Bowl in 2011, we've been mediocre. We had some flashes when we drafted OBJ and Eli, that was his last hurrah, just offensive wise and whatever. It was great. And then last year we finally made the playoffs. And even though we know we didn't have a great team, we were like the worst, the ugliest offense out there. But again, we had something going. And then, you see Daniel Jones throw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, run the ball, destroyed a good Vikings team, which nobody ever believes in the Vikings. And you looked at everything and be like, all right, all we need to do is now add more pieces to this offense, right? Wide receivers, more tight ends, the line. I don't know what the fuck happened. I mean, I was happy when we got Darren Waller, but we're not going to see Darren Waller again for the rest of the season, most likely. I didn't see anything else. I mean, I like the Jalen. When we drafted Hyatt, I said, "Oh man, that's a solid pick for where we got him at. That's a value." I thought, offensive line. Let's get back to everything just went downhill. I think the bad juju from free agency has it carried over into the season.
Y'all have had some of the worst luck of any NFL franchise I've ever in like a set, like a small amount of time. Yeah. Like literally in like a couple months span. Y'all have had some really, really bad luck, man. It goes down. It starts with the offensive line. That's where it all starts at, man. The injuries right there and those guys not being able to be there because that's what affects everything else. That's what gets your quarterback hurt. the different things that goes into all that. It usually starts with your offensive and defensive lines. Y'all had a lot of injuries on both sides of that.
Yeah,
man.
bro.
It's just been really bad luck. This is the time to get Jalen Hyde in there, get him some playing time. Don't get him beat up, man. Don't be throwing him.
No.
Don't run like slants across the middle and stupid shit like that. But get him involved in the offense. You know, learn. Start building some rapport, some chemistry with those guys. And you're playing. You don't want to win a bunch of games, but you want to see you guys be scrappy.
Hey, Danny DeVito is gonna start slinging it downfield, baby. They
Bro,
tried.
I saw where Matt Barkley's on y'all's. I didn't know Matt Barkley was still in the league, bro.
We just signed him to the practice squad. I mean, you have to. I mean, Tyrod is still gonna be out, and Tyrod history, man. I mean,
I saw that and I was like, holy shit! I didn't know he was still in the league or had a chance to be, man.
Hey, you see what Carson Wentz landed somewhere?
Where's he at?
This morning they picked Carson Wentz was picked up by, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now. I just saw it flash this afternoon and I was talking about it. Crap.
Where would it be?
What team just lost the quarterback? Oh my gosh.
He go to the Vikings, did he?
No, not the Vikings. No, the Vikings.
They got their guy. I just
know shoot, who the hell? Oh my gosh, I forget who Carson Wentz signed with. Damn it, I can't think about it right now.
Rams?
The Rams.
Was the Rams? Okay, I was gonna say Matthew Stafford's down. I saw that. Ooh.
Yep, the Rams. The Rams were the team that he landed with. Carson. Yeah, so it's funny. I mean, we got Matt Barkley. Well, I would have been okay with getting Carson Wentz. At least he'll throw the ball downfield.
I mean, there's probably worse people you get. That guy going in like fresh start somewhere. He just feels like
at this point,
he might actually play some good football.
Dude, at this point, I called Matt Ryan. I mean, he's only
I will not. I wouldn't call
half
Matt
a season.
Ryan.
I mean, shit.
He looked kind of like Drew Brees did in that last year. Drew Brees had where like they're just doesn't have that zip anymore, and it's almost I'm like, please just put him out the pasture, man.
Actually,
these guys are great quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I don't want to watch this demise anymore.
He looked like that the last 2 seasons. I think. I
love Phillip Rivers for being like, nah, man, I'm gonna go coach high school football. I know y'all keep calling, but I know that ship sailed because I don't want to watch that. These are some of the greatest quarterbacks of my childhood, man. I don't need to see these guys out here bumming it up.
Absolutely. Well, Cricket, another fine show, my friend. I appreciate you coming on week after week, brother. It makes it more fun and definitely more entertaining, brother. So tell our guys about your sportspixlocal.com where they can reach you and other good stuff.
Absolutely, man. For the best value in sports handicapping, come check us out over at sportspicks.locals.com. We have the great Robert Barnes making the official picks 7-0 on his 5% plays this year. We should have one of those coming up here before too long, but been doing really well. I put all my picks and stuff up there. You got a great community you interact with. Put your own videos, picks. We'll interact back with you, tell you what we think. We got our morning show, Will and I, Sports Morning Espresso Shot over on Rumble. Come check us out over there. But yeah, man, come check us out, sportspicks.locals.com, where we turn the odds in your favor.
Telling you, folks, I say this every week. Follow Cricket on X or Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, man. There's no other, like, I don't want to use the word bookie because you're more than just a bookie, bro. You know what I'm saying? But there's no dude out there, man.
I like sports and I know things, man. That's it.
The sports betting guy, all right? Put it there. That
I do. Yeah, Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at cricket1414. So at cricket 2 T's 1414.
There we go. If you don't miss it, it's right there on the banner, brother. Look at the banner right there.
Fancy, man. This is fancy. You got a bottom line and everything.
Put the banner right there. Put my boy Cricket up there, bro.
All
right, everybody. That's all we got this week, baby. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast signing out.
See you next Tuesday.
Peace.